Hello ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be showing you how to catch trades exactly like this on the 1 minute time frame. As my regular viewers may know, I am against trading 1 and 5 minute time frames because generally it's just noise. However, I have found an indicator that does work. And when I say an indicator, don't click off the video. It's not a moving average, it's not an RSI, we're not doing that stuff here. So you may notice the lines on my chart, they're pretty hard to miss. These are called VWAPs, specifically an anchored VWAP. Now the reason that these work so well and the reason that I use them on low time frames is because they have an inherent meaning. They are inherently powerful by themselves. So I'll explain what's on the screen and what you're looking at, and then I will tell you how the institutions are using it and how we can benefit from that. So first of all, to apply an anchored VWAP, we want to go over here to the projections panel, go down to volume based and click on anchored VWAP. You will then be able to draw a VWAP from anywhere. You'll see it anchors to price and it moves forwards. So we will need 3 anchored VWAPs throughout the day. We always draw one right here on the market open. And when I say market open, it's midnight for me. So as soon as the day changes from the previous day to the new day or the current day, that's when we draw our first one. Then we draw another one and we don't remove the previous one. We add another one at London Open and we will add another one on New York Open. Now New York isn't open yet, but we will draw one. Now we would also want to draw anchored VWAPs when we have some sort of move in the market. So whether it be NFP, FOMC, any market moving news, we want to see what the volume, what the fair value from that move will be. So just to simplify what you're seeing here, and this is actually beautiful. This is today. I've not cherry picked this. This was this morning today. So you can see how prices respected our fair value really nicely. So the very easy way to think about the VWAP is if we're above this orange line, yours may look different, but this orange line, then we are in a premium price. Price is expensive relative to its average price or its fair value. The orange line here, this is the VWAP line, and this is the fair value line, and this is basically where the average price is that traders are getting filled or executing their orders. Down here, the bottom band, this is what we call discount. So as a rough guideline, when price is pushing into our upper band, this is our premium price, so people will want to be selling. Obviously, people that have bought at fair value, this is a good place to sell. That's a fair price for them to sell at. So as a rough guideline, when we are seeing price starting to push our upper band here, we may start seeing the market start to turn around. And the reason is because when people bought off the fair value, this is now, again, the premium price. It's a good level for people to start taking their profits and getting out of the market. And on the other hand, this is a good place for short sellers to come in and sell at a high price and look to take their profits back at the fair value. And that's a mean reversion. Now the same rules apply down here when we're at the lower band. We are at a discount, so this would be a good place for short sellers to take their profits and long buyers to start stepping in and buying back up into fair value. So this VWAP line is almost like a magnet. So the way we can interpret this very simply, if we're in our premium, we can expect price to start at some point coming back down to our fair value. Now the tricky part is, when is that going to happen? It could take a little while, it could take a couple of hours, it could happen instantly. As you can see here, we could have sold at this point and we would have ended up actually sitting in some drawdown for quite some time until we did end up coming back into profit. So that is one way to do it. You could sort of DCA a mean reversion, although I wouldn't suggest doing that. I don't do that with this approach. The other way is doing basically this, where we're looking for price to start bouncing off our fair value. So how do institutions and smart money in general use the VWAP? Well, it's very simple. Let's say we have a European asset manager. His mandate is to swap €1 billion into US dollars. Well, he will then give that order to the market. That €1 billion order cannot just be dumped into the market. It will alert every liquidity provider. It will give a directional bias into the market. You know, us retail traders might see a large move to the upside and think there is some discretional bias in the market. That's not what's happening. It's just a transaction. And this is what I mean by the lower time frames and noise. Sometimes it's not a directional trade. It is just some sort of corporate hedging, corporate transaction. Now, what they don't want to do is put that €1 billion into the market and then lose money on that transaction because they sold or they bought to a poor price, you know? So the way they do it is they will split the order throughout sessions. So in London session, New York session, towards the end of the session, they will split that order up into different segments to put it into the market. And this is for a couple of reasons. This is firstly, so they can get the best price, so they're not losing money on that order. Because again, this isn't a directional trade. It's not trying to make a profit. This is purely moving X currency to B currency. Now, the other reason is, as I've already mentioned, they don't want to put any directional bias into the market. They don't want to move markets with their order, because again, that would then lead them to getting a poor fill and losing money on that order. So what they will try to do every single time to get the best order, to get the best price and the most fair value for that, is to try to get that position around VWAP, because that is objectively the fair value of this market today. So that is why the VWAP is so powerful. Again, it's not just a retail indicator that you slap on TradingView and buy and sell and go crazy with. This is an indicator to project essentially what institutions are looking to do and where the objective values of the market are today. So we can see down here, this is a trade, and we're essentially looking to say, how does this market look today? Now, I'm going to go into how we spot these trades and all sorts of things, but I'm just going to run you through this example so you can get the idea. What we've got is a couple of different things. You can see I've now opened my screens. I've got 4 charts open. They're all on the same asset. So you can see up here, I have the symbol linked. So all 4 of these screens will always be on the same symbol. I also have the crosshair. That's irrelevant. Now, the reason I do this is because I don't want to just buy here blindly. Just because it's seen a rejection, that's not really good enough. I mean, it's a good sign, but there are other layers we want to put on. We want as many confluences as possible. So I have the 15-minute chart over here. Now, I also have some moving averages. I have a 50, a 100, and a 200 moving average, as well as the anchored VWAPs on the 15-minute charts. And that just gives me sort of the intraday direction. That's, again, just sort of a trend confluence. I don't want to be, going heavy on the 1-minute time frame if the 15-minute time frame is super bearish and I'm trying to buy and sell at discount and premium. That wouldn't make much sense. Same thing here over on the H1. Again, I don't want to be buying and selling in the opposite way of the overall market trend. Again, it doesn't make much sense to do. It would just be one of those factors that's trying to work against us. We're trying to fight the market. However, in this case, you will see the H1 is actually bearish according to the moving averages, and same thing here on the H4. So why did I take the trade? Well, because although the H4 and the H1 are bearish, the 15-minute is very bullish. We're seeing continued higher lows. We've got higher highs here relative to previous levels. So overall, I was still quite bullish on this market. Now remember, we're trading on the 1-minute. So although we do pay attention to the H1 and the H4, they're not the most relevant. We're looking for shorter term moves. Now the H4 here still has room to the upside. Although it's in a downtrend, I do think we could still see upside again, short term. The H1 is very clearly broken above our 50 moving average and the 100, again telling me that we do have buyers in the market that are interested. So let's go back to the H1. What do we have here? Well, again, let me just clarify. We have our daily opening VWAP, which starts all the way back here. So we've got our daily fair value, which is middle orange line right here. Price came down into our fair value for the day. It also intersected with the London lower band, which told us 2 things. The session was on discount. The day was on fair value, which means to me that yes, we are very likely to have some buyers in this market. It may even just be up to the session fair value, the London session, which is upper orange band. So that was the thought process behind this. It was very, very simple. Now it's now you may see here there's a lot of different opportunities. We very clearly saw buyers as soon as London market opened or London session opened. So we had that directional bias. However, we came into a premium. We broke above our daily VWAP line, which came up here. We broke above our London VWAP. So we could have been looking for this mean reversion sell. We could have then bought, and again, we came into a premium price. We could have sold and bought back off the fair value. Now, of course, I'm not saying we would actually do this, but I'm just trying to explain to you sort of the power and the value that we can get just by looking at what this is doing. So again, we came into premium. We actually created double top here. We could have short sold this. We could have bought back. We could have sold again once we started seeing rejections at the VWAP. We bought here. And it's just one of these things where a lot of retail completely discredit, ignore all indicators, whether it be a VWAP, volume, moving averages, RSIs. Whereas the VWAP is just so unique and powerful. It's one of those things, if you are discrediting it and you do say, oh, it's just another indicator, it doesn't work, you are ignorant to what it actually is, because it does work and it is really heavily used across smart money and institutions. Now, how do we find these trades? How can we start scanning the markets? Well, it's very, very simple. We can use one method. Now, I only use this with currencies because I've tested it with indices. So, the DAX, US 30, the S&P. For me, it doesn't work as well. I don't see that much consistency. It doesn't respect it as much. Whereas with currencies, it works very well. With stocks and crypto, actually crypto not so much, but stocks and currencies, very, very well. Now, why? Well, because there's a transaction going in there. You may have a mandate to buy X amount of Apple stock or X amount of Nvidia or X amount of Australian dollars. You're not really given a mandate to buy X amount of US 30 at today's fair value. That obviously can happen, but it doesn't work as well as what I do, which is with currencies and stocks. Now, I don't trade stocks, but I have tested it with stocks and it does hold up. So again, with currencies, the thought process is very simple. If we're above, we're in a premium. If we're below, we're in a discount. If we're at the middle, it's fair value. Whichever way we start pushing off, we could look to take that direction. But anyway, how do we actually scan the markets? Again, very, very simple. All we do, again, I do only currency, so I've added all the currency pairs that I want to pay attention to. I just filter it by change. So if the market has been going up, I want to buy. If the market's down, then I want to sell. And again, that sounds very simple. It sounds a bit ridiculous, but it is true. That's just the way to look at it, the way I look at it anyway. So again, we can see here, Euro Australian. The 15-minute is bearish, the H1 is bearish, the H4 is bearish, so we go down to the 1 minute, and all we need to do now is look for some short positions. So actually, we've just had New York Open VWAP added here, but all we would need to do for this market to now start looking for positions is wait for it to come back into a premium price or fair value. So what this is, by the way, these are live markets, so I can't really, go back and show you a hindsight thing. What I would be looking for here is a reversion back up into what is now the New York's premium price at the upper band, which also interlines here with the London fair value, and then I would look to short into the discounted price. Or, if that trade didn't work, again, I need to make it very clear, nothing always works. So we could be waiting for a higher price to come back into sort of premium, and that could come into our daily VWAP fair value and the London premium price. So that would be sort of the thought process, and that is really all it does. Now, what you need to keep in mind is sort of the trade approach, because yes, you could look for basically something like this, where you just go for whatever it may be, a 1 to 2, a 1 to 3. However, that can work. I'm not saying it doesn't. The best way I have found, now this is a little bit tedious, it's a little bit painful, especially for the R&R monkeys that are always chasing high risk reward trades. Again, it can work on this strategy, but the most ideal way I've found is basically just in one-to-ones. So let's hypothetically say we wanted to buy off this fair value line here. We would want to do something like this, where we allow the market room to come down into discount and we allow the market room to come back up into premium. Now that kind of gives us a 50-50 chance, but with all of the other things, like the market's trend on the change, we've got the trends on the 15, the H1 and the H4, we've got the VWAP, we've got the understanding of what the VWAP means, the hit rate is actually very successful. Now, what you can also do then is trail your stops as price moves in your direction. You can scale in, you can maximize those winners. Worst case on a loser, you might lose, depending on how much you risk. Let's assume you risk 1% per position. You may lose 2%. And the reason I'm saying 2% is because there's something I like to do, which is a mean reversion trade. So let's say, again, completely hypothetical. Let's say I was in a position like this, where I was looking to buy off fair value and now it's going against me. Well, I may look to actually buy in a discount again, double up my risk, because that's something that I'm comfortable to do. I'm not saying you should do this, and look to bring that average position down and see if we can get price to come back up into a premium. Now, of course, again, I'm not going to do that because this market, in my opinion, is going further down. So I don't want to be a buyer, but hopefully that explains sort of the thought process and how you could go about doing this, because what we can look at then is a bit deeper on the currency pairs themselves. So things like the Aussie New Zealand euro pound, very correlated currencies in markets that are overall sideways moving, especially on higher time frames. They are very prone to mean reversions. So when we do get into these premium prices like we had here, there is nothing wrong with going in for short positions expecting the market to rebalance back to its fair value, again specifically with these correlated assets like euro pound and Aussie New Zealand, because that is just their general behavior. So the VWAPs for me are just a beautiful way to capitalize on short-term trends, macro ideas, on short-term timeframes, and just capitalize a little bit. You don't have to take a full 1% risk. You don't have to really do anything. You could take 0.25% and just bag a little bit of profit off your idea and then walk away. The only reason this came to my attention, because if you watch my content really at all, you will know I am primarily a swing trader. 50% pullbacks, trends, 4-hour daily timeframes. But my analyst uses the VWAP. Now, my analyst isn't a retail trader. He's not just another guy on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram. You won't find him on social media. He actually just moved to London from Spain to do some work experience at LSE, which is London School of Economics. He's graduated with a degree in finance and economics. He's currently looking to move into an analyst role in one of the major firms like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, etc. He doesn't have the job yet, which is why I'm listing them. But people like that don't pick up strategies like ICT or RSI overbought and oversold strategies, because they don't work. What they do, if they are trading technicals, is generally stuff like this, where they're looking to pick up prices at premium and discounted price, look for where the fair value is and try and get that sort of edge in the markets where they can get the reversions or the bounces back to certain levels on short time frames. Now, of course, I'm not saying this is what every institution does, that's the only way they trade, but I'm just saying this is an approach that they do take. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that covers this video. Short and sweet. Hopefully you get the idea. Have a great day. Don't get margin called. Stay safe. Drop a like and subscribe if you have enjoyed the video, you found any value whatsoever. You can join my Discord completely free for 7 days if you want to join the Elite Traders Club. If not, I'll see you very soon. Have a good one, and thanks for watching.